Good afternoon, I'm Vashan Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the words Spot Media. 2 of the Jamaicans killed in last night's horrific fire in the Bronx, New York have been identified. They're 19-year-old Shantae Young and Karen Stewart. Ms. Stewart's 2 children also died in the apartment fire. Her husband is in serious condition in a hospital burn unit. The family is from Spanish Town, St. Catherine, and moved to New York within the last decade. We have more in this report.
Range in age from just a 1-year-old baby to a 63-year-old woman, and we are also learning this morning that of those 4 kids, we know that at least 3 of them are under the age of 10. You can see the firefighters, they are still on scene. They have been here since the flames first broke out shortly before 7 o'clock yesterday evening on the first floor of this building, which may help explain why this fire was so deadly. There were more than 150 firefighters working to douse those flames. Not everybody made it out alive, and those who did, many of them had to climb down fire escapes into these really bone-chilling temperatures here, Bill. We're also learning more about the building itself. According to public records, there were only 4 complaints against this building since 2004. None of them appear to be fire-related. There are 29 suites inside, we also know, but there were 6 open violations that were registered with one city department. One had to do with a defective smoke detector, another defective carbon monoxide detector. Both of those were located on the first floor. It is not clear whether those were cleared up or fixed, or if they had any role in this fire, but we are expecting to get an update from the fire department at the top of the next hour or just shortly after that.
Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, has expressed sadness that the tragedy which claimed several lives at the apartment building in New York. Now, in a statement this morning, Senator Johnson-Smith said that the ministry notes with concern that while details are still unconfirmed, Jamaicans, including children, are reported to be among the casualties and injured. She says the ministry is working with its Consulate General and the authorities in New York to obtain further information on the situation. A 15-year-old male student is now in police custody, while another 15-year-old male student is in serious but stable condition at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital after a stabbing incident last evening. The incident took place in an area known as Crocodile City in Runaway Bay. Reports are that around 6 o'clock, an argument developed between the 2 boys and knives were drawn, where both boys wounded each other. TVJ News understands that both boys will be charged pending further investigations. Still in St. Anne, the police have released the name of the man killed in Runaway Bay Thursday evening. He's 52-year-old taxi operator Hubert Linda Lawrence, otherwise called Wheelie, of Hollywood Steertown in the parish. It's reported that about 6:40 Thursday evening, calls were made to the police by motorists and residents after hearing explosions. When the police arrived, Lawrence's body was found behind his white Toyota Succeed motor car with gunshot wounds to the head. Reports also revealed that prior to Lawrence's demise, he was being investigated for his involvement in criminal activities in Steertown. It's understood that he picked up 2 men in Salem and was asked for a stop in Mount Edgecombe when he was shot and killed. The men escaped in a waiting motor car. 2 men are dead after an alleged shootout with the police early this morning in Albion, St. James. The men have been identified as Sean Dent and Akeem Taylor, both of an Albion address. 2 illegal firearms were reportedly taken from them. TVJ News understands that police personnel went in search of the men in connection to a number of murders in the parish. It's reported that the men opened fire on the police. Fire was returned and both men were hit. A church leader was yesterday arrested by the St. Elizabeth police in connection with the sexual assault of a minor. The male church leader was taken into custody following reports that he had molested a female minor in November. The police have not yet released his name, as he has not yet been questioned and he is not yet charged. According to reports, the male is the leader of a church in the parish and the minor attends the same church. It's alleged that when the incident took place in November, it was reported to the Black River police, who started investigations. The probe resulted in his arrest yesterday. The Savannah Lamar Police in Westmoreland has caught one of the parish's most wanted men. The police carried out intensive investigations, which led to the arrest and charge of Davian Brown, otherwise called Balti. He was arrested on December 15 following an operation in Grange Hill in the parish. The police say Mr. Brown was caught with a gun and ammunition in his possession. The police have been searching for Mr. Brown since August in connection with the murder of 22-year-old O'Seely Hall. He's scheduled to appear before the Westmoreland Parish Court on January 9 next year. As the Police Federation awaits a response from Prime Minister Andrew Holness to its request for an urgent meeting in light of the breakdown in the wage negotiations, it's questioning the delay in him receiving the letters with the request. Now, yesterday, Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Robert Morgan, revealed that the Prime Minister did not receive the first letter sent last week by the Federation. A second letter was sent on Wednesday. Mr. Morgan said both letters were received yesterday. However, in a communique to its members yesterday, the Federation's central executive outlined that the first letter was sent via fax on Wednesday, December 20, and hand-delivered the following day to the OPM. It says the second letter was hand-delivered on Wednesday of this week. The Federation says a member of staff at the OPM signed its dispatch register on both days, acknowledging receipt of both letters. The Federation is suggesting that the business processes at the OPM that deals with external written correspondence should be properly monitored to avoid any recurrence or further delay. Since Saturday, thousands of rank-and-file members have been reporting sick to protest the government's 6% wage offer. The Urban Development Corporation, UDC, has announced temporary traffic changes to be implemented in downtown Kingston to facilitate its annual fireworks on the waterfront slated for this Sunday. Road closures and traffic changes will take effect as early as 10 tonight and will last until Monday, January 1 at 6 a.m. The UDC states that it has partnered with stakeholders such as the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, and the National Works Agency NAA to have the necessary traffic changes and road closures implemented to facilitate the seamless execution of the annual fireworks on the waterfront. Starting at 10 p.m., the intersection of Duke Street and South Nothersole Place, along with the intersection of Church Street and Ocean Boulevard, will be blocked. Tomorrow, beginning at 6 p.m., the intersection of Princess Street and Ocean Boulevard through to the intersection of Orange Street and Ocean Boulevard will be blocked to vehicular traffic to facilitate the erection of tents. Now, further traffic changes will be effected on Sunday from 6 a.m. as there will be restricted access on Ocean Boulevard and nearby streets. Now, despite the dwindling numbers of police personnel reporting for duty, head of the Kingston Central Police Division, Superintendent Robert Gordon, is assuring the public that adequate security will be provided for persons attending the fireworks on the Kingston waterfront on Sunday. 2 health care facilities in Manchester have been given some help to make the day-to-day operations a little bit easier for administrators. The Hargraves Memorial Hospital and the Manchester Golden Age Home, formerly Manchester Infirmary, have received washing machines and a dryer from the NCB Foundation. The foundation said it donated the washing machine and the dryer to the hospital as a way of giving back and in recognition of the hospital's service to the Mandeville community. Meanwhile, the donation of a washing machine to the Manchester Golden Age Home is expected to significantly boost the efficiency of the home's ability to handle the large daily wash loads for the over 80 residents there. Head of the laundry department at the home, Hilary Pommels, says the donation comes at a critical time. A new female ward is also being constructed at the home, which is expected to accommodate close to 50 wards who are now being housed at different locations. News overseas now in the United States. 3 months after being devastated by Hurricane Maria, some 30,000 Puerto Ricans are still without electricity. We go to the CNN for more.
Yeah, we'll go has always been known for its agriculture. Now it's known for that area, where Hurricane Maria came in with 155-mile-per-hour winds, knocking out electricity immediately. The mayor says he doesn't know when power will be restored, so he believes they were the first to deal with Maria, and they could be the last. Mayor Rafael Zurillo was born and raised in these mountains near the coast. He calls Maria a monster that destroyed them. He's saying the urban area could get power very soon, but this area, the mountainous area, he says it could be summer before they see it, which, take note, summer is when the hurricane season begins.
We go now to sports. Defending champions Zarnet Gardens extended their unbeaten run in this season's Red Star Premier League, but it's Portmore United who will enter 2018 the happier after they opened up a 4-point lead on match day 17.
Portmore United entered their game against the UWIFC knowing anything but a win could see them giving up ground on the chasing pack. It took only 10 minutes before the league top marksman Javan East calmly slotted the St. Catherine-based team in front. The lead was held for 35 minutes as Patrick Brown drew UWI level on the stroke of half-time. Rushane Sharp headed Portmore United back in the lead 8 minutes after the resumption, and from there it was one-way traffic. Shaniki Burton in the 83rd, Ron D. Smith in the 90th, and a cheeky Ricardo Morris in time added on orchestrated a dominant Portmore United display, which moves them to 40 points, 4 more than Arnett Gardens.
Very important because that was our aim at the beginning of the month to end strong, and also at the start of the preseason for us to dominate or be dominant. And we're in high spirits now, confidence are really high, and the players are putting in the good work.
Meanwhile, the defending champions extended their unbeaten run at the start of the season to 17, but still lost ground on Portmore United as they were held 1-1 by neighbours Boys Town at the Barbican Field. Fabian Reed opened the scoring for Arnett from the penalty spot on minute 26, before the returning Jamil Hardware levelled things in the 66th. Arnett was reduced to 10 men as Reed was shown a straight red card in minute 82 and will now miss the top of the table clash against Portmore United on January 7.
Despite of we going 1 goal ahead, you know, we lapse in concentration in the latter part of the game. But it's a shadow of Arnett Guard in terms of what we can do. And we know we have our internal problem presently that you are all aware of. And we are hoping that, you know, we can, you know, really make the turning point.
We played a very good Arnett Gardens team, defending champions. They're very deep. They are preparing for the Caribbean Club Championship. So, you know, they are looking at all the players that they have in their arsenal. So to come out here and match them for 90 minutes was very good.
Elsewhere, Sandals South Coast secured their 3rd win in the Premier League, clipping Humberline 1-0, while Tivoli Gardens, with goals from Marvin Stewart and Jermaine Johnson, had a 2-0 win over FC Reno. Cavalier are now 4th on the table after clipping 10-man Montego Bay United 1-0. Michael Spence got the all-important goal in the first minute of time added on, with Odane Niche being ejected 60 seconds later.
After 2.5 hours in the traffic, I was just hoping and praying that we were able to finish the first half unscathed. Once we finished the first half unscathed and we got a rest and we get to talk, we didn't even get to go over the game plan. We know we would have had them, and the second half, you notice, we were much more dominant, got a lot of guilty chances, and at the end, you know, we went for one of the fastest players in the business.
On Friday, Harbourview will travel to the Drewsden Stadium to play host Waterhouse. Renata Brown for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. Join us at 7 for Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon and have a happy 2018.